Welcome back to Morning Joy, where truth matters. I'm your host, Keith Downey, and as always, we're here to look at what's happening in the world through the lens of our Catholic faith with our weekly news roundup, really bringing you the stories that have folks talking this week. And today we're diving right into a story that's stirring up some big questions in the Catholic world, and trust me, it's got some layers to it. So grab your coffee if you haven't already and stick around, and let's break this down together. Now, this week, we've got news coming out of two of the most famous Catholic pilgrimage sites, Lourdes in France and Fatima in Portugal. And it's all about artwork, specifically mosaics created by ex-Jesuit Father Marco Rupnik. Now, here's where it gets messy. Now, Rupnik's been accused of some pretty serious stuff, abusing more than 20 women over decades, allegations that actually got him kicked out of the Jesuit order. This was back in 2023. His mosaics, they are all over the place. Big pieces in churches and shrines worldwide, including, of course, Lourdes and Fatima. But now people are asking, should they stay up or should they come down? What do you think about all this? The phone lines are open. 877-757-9424. And by the way, if you've never seen this artwork before, allow me to describe it to you. It's a modern twist, I would say, on ancient Byzantine icons, but with big almond-shaped faces with oversized black eyes. I feel like that's the best way I can describe it. The figures almost seem to float, draped in some flowing robes, surrounded typically by bursts of gold and bright hues, reds, blues, greens. It's very dramatic, and it's in your face, and it's literally everywhere. Now, real quick, we'll start with Lourdes. So just this Monday, March 31st, the bishop there made a move. He ordered the mosaics on the doors of the Rosary Basilica to be covered up. Not taken down, mind you, just covered with aluminum panels. Why, you might ask? Well, he said it's about making the shrine a welcoming place for everyone, especially victims of abuse who might feel hurt walking past those mosaics every day. It's, I guess, a symbolic step, and he's hinted he might even remove them entirely down the line, but for now, they're just out of sight. And then real quickly, there's Fatima. Totally different vibe, mind you. On the same day Lourdes made headlines, a spokesperson for the Fatima shrine said, no, we're not taking ours down. Their reasoning? They're not planning to remove the giant mosaic in the Basilica of the Holy Trinity, which is 33 by 164 feet of gold artwork. They've stopped using pictures of it in their promotional items, and they've condemned his actions. But that's, I guess, where they're drawing the line. No removal, no covering, just leaving it. So the big question is, and this is where you come in, folks, should Lourdes go all the way and just take those mosaics down? Should Fatima follow suit? Or is covering them up enough? So we've actually got a listener, Lucy from McKinney, Texas, AM 910 listener. I want to get your perspective on this. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning, Keith. I've been hearing about this for some time now, and to me it's very simple. Because the artwork, a lot of the artwork was created during these abuse sessions, that in itself is that there's sin happening while those images were being worked on. This is a fact. The other is these images are so ugly, and the fact that our faith is about truth and beauty and goodness, that is another reason to just take it down, because all of this stuff is so unattractive. There's ugliness from the spiritual part of it, and ugliness from just anybody looking at it that wouldn't even know where the story of what was behind it. They would look at it and say it's not attractive. It's an ugly period of artwork, and it needs to come down.
Yeah, great point, Lucy. I hear you. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, I can't say I'm a fan at all of the artwork itself. It's yeah, and then yeah, the whole situation behind the scenes. Really, you can't take away the artist from the artwork from this particular instance. But I really appreciate you calling in, Lucy. Thank you so much. You are definitely a joyful pilgrim. We appreciate you and your call. So let's kind of continue here. Lucy made a good point, just taking them all down. But my thought is too, and we can't really ignore the elephant in the room here. Tearing these things down aren't cheap. We're talking some serious money, like labor, materials, maybe even replacing them with something new. Does that even matter though? I mean, should we just forget the cost? It's the right thing to do. Or is there a balance here? If you want my personal opinion, I think we should just eat the cost. I know it's difficult, but I also want to hear from you out there. If there's anybody else who wants to give some input like Lucy did, thanks again, Lucy. Call us at 877-757-9424, and let's get your take. Should Lords and Fatima rip out Rupnik's artwork, no matter the financial hit? Or is there another way to handle this? I don't know. Maybe keep the art, but add a plaque explaining the context. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you think it's fine to leave it up after, after all, the art didn't hurt anybody. I don't think that's a great explanation, but I'm just trying to give you an opening here. If maybe you have a difference of opinion, what's your gut telling you? While you're dialing in, here's a quick tidbit. Rupnik's work isn't just at Lourdes and Fatima. His mosaics are, get this, in over 230 religious sites worldwide, including the Vatican. Some of these places, like, the Knights of Columbus in the United States, have actually already covered his stuff up. So kudos to the Knights of Columbus there. Others, like Fatima, as I mentioned, are holding firm. It's kind of become a global debate, and it's landing in our laps this morning. And I also wanted to actually bring in Julie Carrick, who is an artist, songwriter, to kind of dive into this a little bit, because as an artistic person, she has a different perspective. So good morning and welcome back, Julie.
Good morning. Yeah, we've dealt with this in the church, obviously in different ways. And the thing that, as a composer, I know that my income comes from my music, right? And as artists, their music, their income also comes from that. And I find it very hard to say, let's keep paying someone to keep art or to keep those things in place. And the example I'm thinking of in 2001, David Haas, a composer, very well known. If you know this song, "You Are Mine," or "Now We Remain," I mean, these beautiful pieces of music that he wrote. But again, it was the same thing during those years of abuse to women. And his music has been removed, and it is to a twofold. One, so that people don't have to hear it and be reminded of what they went through. And the phrase "cover up," does that ring a bell with anybody? As we're, so to cover up the mosaics, I feel, is covering up what, it's like another cover up by something that shouldn't be. I applaud the fact that the one shrine is not using it in any of their correspondence, right, or digital or whatever, because you have to pay royalties on all of that stuff when it's used. So at least that's not being done. But I agree with removing it. And I'm thinking there are probably enough people who would donate toward that to have those things removed, because it's a painful thing to go through when you've trusted, especially a member of the clergy or someone who isn't a voice of authority in the church, and then to be hurt by them, and then to have that so much in your face. I am a firm, I'm a firm believer that when we have stepped away from the teachings of the church, when we've caused harm to others, those things need to be removed. If there's a point in the future where there is, if it's a sinful behavior or something that a person turns around and they've made a comeback, that's one thing. But there doesn't seem to be any, he doesn't seem to be sorry for what he's done. So I'm in the mindset of take it down.
Yep, I hear that. Well, we've got another caller on the line, Sean from Newport News, Virginia. Real quick, we got about a couple minutes left. Sean, tell us what you think.
I mean, you mentioned the cost of tearing these mosaics down. I agree with the previous caller. They are ugly. But when it comes to compensating victims of abuse in the United States, we aren't really considering that cost. So why should it be a cost considering the cost of tearing down this artwork? I mean, it just seems kind of like a weird, I don't know, dichotomy. I don't know the right word, but yeah, that's just my take on it.
No, a great take. Thank you so much for chiming in there, Sean. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to something like this, it is, I think, almost impossible to separate the artwork with this artist. Like, especially with the unique look to it, and I say unique in kind of a manner. Like many have said, it's not really beautiful to look at. You can't separate it. My question would be, I guess, if it looked more like your traditional sacred, artwork, your standard artwork, would there be a call to remove it? Because if it looked like stuff from like the ancient times, would we even know that it's his artwork? So it's kind of a good thing, though, I guess, that we could remove it so that it wouldn't, essentially continue the pain that it has caused many people. So thanks again, Sean, for putting out your opinion there. And we got like a few seconds left, which is a great reminder for you listening out there on the radio. If you aren't going to be hopping on over to the social media sites to join us on the After Show Clubhouse, where we really get to debrief from today's show in a more relaxed manner. It really is fun. It's almost like a whole nother show. It's so cool. And we're going to be joined by Julie Carrick as well. So we'll even continue this conversation over there. Just search Morning Joy Radio or GRN online, and you'll be sure to find us. But if this is truly us parting ways for the day and for the week, hey, God bless. Make it a joyful weekend, and we'll see you bright and early Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern. But it's going to be an interesting after show. We want you to join us if you can. Once again, Morning Joy Radio or GRN online. But until Monday, though, God bless. Make it a joyful day. We'll see you.
This has been Morning Joy, where truth matters, hosted by Keith Downey. Take some joy with you today. Visit grnonline.com/joy to listen again, share a segment, or answer the question of the day. That's grnonline.com/joy.